Ask you for the birth control method and the type of birth control it is. It's going to ask you 2 percentages. If you use it perfectly, what is the percentage of you staying safe and not getting pregnant?
California's State Board of Education has officially made it mandatory to teach sex education curriculum spanning from contraception methods to LGBTQ rights to students beginning in elementary school. San Luis Obispo High School health teacher Daniel Monroe imagines this new policy will encourage more discussions about sexual health and further prevent misconceptions.
Basically, sex education is now required in the classroom. It wasn't something that was required before, but now this is a unit that's required by state law that we have to teach. In that regard, I believe that it's a really, really, really good thing. This is a topic that I think even for me as a teacher, because of just the way social media is and the internet and how prevalent that is nowadays and how much younger kids are exposed to, you would think that I almost think sometimes that they would know more than they do. But as we start going through the material and we start talking about it, and we do anonymous questions throughout the unit where they can write down a question that they might have that they don't feel comfortable asking in front of the class. And then they'll put it in a box and I'll read it to myself and then answer it later. Some of these questions, I look at it and I almost go, man, I thought they would know that. But what you realize is that a lot of the information they're getting is either from their friends, that their friends have heard somewhere, or they're getting it from the internet, which is not always credible, which is not always accurate. The fact that this curriculum or the specific curriculum in health is now required in the classroom, I think is really good because the students are getting the education and knowledge that they need, and they're getting more importantly, they're getting the right information and the correct information, because a lot of these questions that they're asking, they're just misinformed.
Although Monroe strongly believes in the new law, he conveys that there is most definitely going to be challenges in teaching this curriculum, and even just with finding that approach to creating an open environment for all students.
No, the challenges of teaching this information is that you have to be very careful because you have to give them the information, but you have to be careful about getting too opinionated, right? There's that political line that you just can't cross, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about these subjects and topics, people have very different views and backgrounds and the way they're raised and their culture. So I have 35 students in here that have all come from different backgrounds, right? They're raised differently, they're taught differently. So when we're talking about, gender identity and sexual orientation, they're students that feel very different about the topic. So I encourage people to be open and have a voice and be able to, to express how they feel, but also that fine line between understanding that, everyone's different.
For more information regarding California's new health education framework, visit cde.ca.gov.